Okay, can I get their confirmation? Hello, is my screen is visible? Okay then.
Yes.
Okay then. So yesterday we were discussing about the constant expression and the variable expression, which is part of if statement, right? We should be in a position to analyze what is a constant expression and what are its uses, and what is a variable expression and what are its uses. So you're going to find the compilation errors and the runtime errors. Basically, you are going to identify the compile time errors, based upon the constant expressions. So we have seen some examples. Today we will see few more examples, and after getting the complete understanding, we will conclude the topic. Right? So constant expression, we know what is constant expression. By now, we also know what is the variable expression. Right? So let me take a few more examples, so that we will be very much comfortable to conclude this topic. So pay some attention. Okay, first always remember that you should be in a position to find what is a constant expression and what is a variable expression. Right? Now, if I have a code like this, if a equal to 10, because this is just a kind of warm-up thing, okay, try to answer it. Let me take that I have an if condition, right? I'm going to take a if block. So this if block is going to have something like this. A equal to 20, right? And again I am having something like b equal to 100 here. So over here I'm going to have system dot out dot println. I want to access the b. First of all tell me, if I point you on the if condition, what kind of expression is this? First tell me that first. What kind of expression is this? Is it a
Variable expression.
this is a variable expression. Okay, now tell me, variable expressions are recognized in the compile time or the runtime? Tell me that. When do we recognize the variable expression? When will the compiler recognize the variable expression or not? Tell me that. Compiler does not recognize the variable expression. Compiler can only recognize the constant expression, right? So having said this, if I try to compile this piece of code, will it get executed successfully, or will there be any kind of compile time error? Everyone?
Compile time error.
Yeah, it's very clear, no? Compile time error. Yesterday we have been discussing this, right? So let me open the command prompt. Okay, I will be increasing some complexity. Don't get any confusion. Okay, try to pay a good attention. Okay, so let me change the directory cd space java2, and you have what, java c space a dot. Obviously variable b might not have been initialized because compiler is not recognizing this. If I want to make it, what if I want to have this code to get executed, I can do one thing. I can just replace the a with the constant. Okay. So now you tell me what would be the answer in the console. I do this small change. First of all, tell me what kind of expression is this? Constant expression or variable expression? What kind
Constant.
of constant expression, isn't it? So this is a constant expression. Don't you think that it is going to get compiled without any hindrance? Yes or no? Output is going to be what? What would be the output here? Everyone?
100.
100 is the output, right? So be bold enough to answer these questions, because there is a reason behind. I did not save it. Huh? Java C space a dot Java, and you have what, Java space here. You get 100. Now today I am going to introduce something like, I am going to introduce the else block. Focus here. I'm going to do what? I'm going to introduce an else block. Okay, yesterday our discussion was limited. Why yesterday our discussion was limited? We were discussing about this kind of situations, this kind of expressions only with if block. Today I also want to introduce the else block. So having said this, if I just do something like a equal to something like a double equal to 20, I'm doing a comparison here. So inside the if block I have something like b equal to 100, and also inside else block I have something like b equal to 200. If I execute this piece of code, what would be, do you think that what kind of I mean, do you think that do we get any kind of compile time error, or we will not get any compile time error? Think and tell me. First, always remember to identify what kind of expression that I am asking you. What kind of expression is this? Okay, it is very easy to identify. I can say that this is a variable expression. Okay, so do you think that variable expression will be recognized by the compiler or not? Will not be recognized by the compiler. Okay, now if that is the case, okay, do we get something in the console? Just think logically and tell me what is your what are your thoughts about this particular piece of code? Any idea? What do you think that you get in the console when you do the compilation? Any idea? Say yes or no, don't know. Whatever is it. Anyone?
It's error, no, sir. Error.
People are saying error. Okay. Let me run this code. Let me compile this. You get what? You get something like 200 in the console. You're getting 200. So why you are getting 200 in the console, I will tell you. But you also remember something. If I remove this else block, definitely, you get there. Yes or no? The moment I remove the else block, definitely, as per my discussion in the yesterday's class, you might be getting an error. Variable b might not have been initialized. That is the clear-cut case. But the moment I start introducing the else block here, the moment I start introducing the else block here, even though you're representing the variable expression, okay, compiler will do a kind of checking. Okay, it will check. Okay, let me take this piece of code in the plain screen. Focus here. I understand that, sir, you have said that variable expressions will not be recognized by the compiler. That is what you said, sir. But now you are saying that, it is valid, the system is not giving any errors. Why it is so? Okay, so this variable expression, yes, we have a variable expression. This is limited only to the if block. This is limited only with the if block, right? So compiler will be like, first of all, it will see the declaration part. Okay, let me start from the beginning. So the main compilation will start from like from top to bottom. Every instruction will be checked. Okay, this is also perfect. The syntax is perfect. And when it comes to the variable b, it will check for the initialization, if the b is initialized or not, right? The moment it gets into the if condition, okay, the moment it gets into the if condition, it will not get into the if condition because this is a variable expression. And always remember, there is a variable expression, but still you are using an else block to perform the initialization. This is a valid one. There is a variable expression, but still not in the if block. If you are keeping an else block, you are introducing an else block. In the else block, if you are keeping the valid initialization, this is completely valid. This will be recognized. This will be completely recognized. Okay, what if I do this? What if I do this? What if I do the opposite? Now let me say that I am placing the else block, but I am commenting this. Right? Now if I run this piece of code, okay, now I will get error. Variable b might not have been initialized. Okay, the limitation is only for the if block. That's what I'm trying to say. The limitation is only for the if block, not for the else block. You have placed the initialization. You have declared the initialization else block. So completely valid. Focus here. Okay, now I'm going to tell you one more thing. Okay, sir, if that is the case, what if I remove this? Now tell me what will be the answer in the console. 200. Okay, so now the confusion starts. Let's try to execute this. Okay, now it will say variable b might not be initialized. Okay, now focus here. Okay, the compiler is designed in such a way that there are some ultimate cases. So this is the ultimate cases. This is the actual ultimate case. Now let us do the comparison between these two pieces of code. Okay, so the moment you start introducing the else block, if you are keeping only the if block, no issues. There will be no issues. It is very straightforward. The moment you start introducing the else block, okay, the compiler will expect the b needs to be initialized. I mean, it will expect the initialization is happening in both the cases. Compiler will expect the initialization is happening in both the cases. You should initialize b in the if block as well as in the else block. Then the compiler will see it. from the compiler. Okay, compiler will thinks that if it is identified in both both if block as well as both else block, then it will think that okay, initialization is complete. The moment you are removing the initialization in the if block and you are keeping only the initialization in the else block. Okay,
Sir,
tell me.
the condition is false, then why should it go to the block, sir? If block, why should we go to with the if block, sir?
Yes, correct, but condition is false, but we are talking about the compilation. Compiler will look only for the syntaxes, will check for the syntaxes. Okay, when the main thread is coming into the picture, this main thread, the job of the main thread, okay, while executing, the condition will be applied. While executing, the equivalent expression will be, the equivalent block will be executed. So this is the job of the execution. In Java, there are two parts, right? So you need to do the compilation first of all. If you give any piece of code, this piece of code will not get executed directly. Firstly, compiler will like, the job of the compiler is to identify for any syntax errors. So now we are talking about the compiler's perspective, not the we are not talking about the execution, we are not talking about the runtime. Here we're not discussing about the execution, we are just discussing about the syntactical errors, compile time errors. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
It is just like, for example, you are writing an essay in your in your school, or in your +2 exam, or in your +2, or in your graduation. Any essay you write, or you are submitting a record. Okay, each and every page will be scrutinized or will be screened by your HOD or whoever it is looking after that. They will check for the sentence formation, they will check for the vocabularies, they will check for if the essay is divided into so and so parts. So they will check each and everything, right? Then they start the validation upon that. So if you write IELTS examination, there will be listening, there will be like speaking session, there will be writing session, there will be reading session. Okay, first of all, they give the marks not because of you have written so many pages, you're writing speaking English very fluently. It is not like that. They will check each and everything. Even they check the full stops, they check the comma, they check the quotes, they check the quotations. Everything will be considered. They check the spelling mistakes when it comes to writing. They will check the slang. Okay, they don't expect you like speak like a native American English speaker. Not like that. They will check the basic things for when it comes to reading or listening, whatever it is. Right, so that this is a kind of that you are trying to do the basic checking. The compiler is doing the basic checking if the program is syntactically correct or not. Making sense? I hope that has answered my question. That I have answered your question. Now see, the moment you start introducing the else block, okay, it will listen like this. Okay, think like this. For a variable expression, if you have declared the variable outside, declaration is completed outside. But when it comes to if and else block, for the variable expression, the moment you started introducing the else block, it will expect, the compiler will expect the initialization is happening in the if block as well as in the else block. So this is the rarest of rare cases. Okay, accessing can be outside. So this is applicable only for what expression? This is applicable only for variable expression, the rarest case. Okay, the initialization has to happen in both if block and the else block. If you are missing the initialization in any one of the blocks, then that becomes invalid. Okay, that's why in this case you see this is a variable expression. Okay, so the compiler will see whether the b declared or not. Okay, b has been declared, whether the b initialized or not, it will check in the if block as well as in the else block. Okay, it is missing in the if block. Okay, that's why it is throwing error. Rarest of rare case. Rarest of rare case. That's why this is throwing error. Having said this, let me look at another example. Let me make it as okay, when I say let me send a double equal to 10, right? So when I do b equal to let me say b equal to 20. Okay, now tell me, what is this expression? What kind of expression is this? Constant or variable? Variable expression, right? Now what kind of block I am using? I am using if else condition, if else conditional statement, right? Okay, just now I have said that when I am using a variable expression, and again if I am using the if block as well as else block, okay, when the value is declared outside, the compiler will expect the initialization in both the if block as well as in the else block. Here, don't you think that something is missing in the else block? Yes or no? Can I get yes or no? Don't you think that the initialization is missing in the else block? Yes, right? So if my now see what is, okay, this is something. Did I miss any brackets? Did I miss? Okay. Yeah. See, variable b might not be. You might be thinking, yes, sir, this is a variable expression, right? So this is going to return true. Okay, this has to get executed. That will happen in the runtime, but we are talking about the compiler. We are talking about the compilation time, right? So the initialization has to happen in both the if block as well as in the else block. If you miss this, definitely you will get error. If you do not want to miss that, if I say b equal to something like 300, now tell me what would be the output in the console.
300.
300,
Okay.
isn't it? First of all, think like how the compiler thinks. Okay, if you think that okay, there are no errors, no syntactical errors as per my explanation, then you are good to answer the runtime things. Okay, 20 is the answer. Okay, a is what this is going to be returning true. If it is returning true, this block, the if block, gets executed 20. If I do not equal to, now what would be the answer?
300.
300, right?
300.
Opposite. Compilation wise, it is completely okay, but we need to think about what would be the output during the runtime. Okay, the JVM will execute each and every instruction. Okay, the output will be displayed accordingly. Okay, my system is so slow nowadays. $300, right? Okay, now I think this topic is clear. Now last discussion. Okay, we will keep this very simple. Now you tell me. Okay, just think and tell me. First tell me, this is a constant expression or a variable expression. First tell me. Constant. Very much constant, because you're receiving a value directly. You're not taking help of any variable. So this is a what? This is completely constant expression. Anyone with eyes can tell that this is a constant expression. Constant expression, right? So if I run this code, what will be the value in the console? Do we get any compile time error or some things like that? Okay, so let me run this. Don't get any confusion. You do not want to keep much confusion here. Okay, now think simply you will get 20. Okay, because we have initialized in both the areas, in the if area as well as in the else area. Okay, the moment if I start removing this, the moment if I start commenting this, okay, now think and tell me what will be the answer. So this is a constant expression, not the variable expression. You would say that, sir, we don't know how it will work in the constant expression. For variable expression, we are very clear that the initialization has to happen in both the areas, but this is a constant expression. We are not sure how does these things work in the constant expression. That could be your question, right? Let me execute this. Java C space a.java, Java space, you are getting 20. So by this I can conclude that if it is a constant expression, okay, it is not mandatory to initialize in both the areas. When I say areas, I am talking about what? The if area and the else area, right? Okay, sir. Right, it is not mandatory. So this is just a comment. Okay, this will not be considered by the compiler. This is just a comment. Ignore this. Huh? It is just like removing this. Don't get any confusion. Both are same. Java C space a.java, Java space a. 20. Right, now let me do small change. Okay, let me say I am removing this. Okay, let me say if I do b equal to 300. Okay, now let me say 10 not equal to. Okay. Now tell me what would be the answer. Constant expression.
300.
300, correct. Good.
Yeah.
Good. 300 is going to be the answer. Java C space a.java, Java space a. So can I conclude that it is not mandatory for the compiler to see the initialization in both the areas when it is a constant expression, but when it is a variable expression, it is completely mandatory. Yes or no? Isn't it? Now what happens if I do this? Think and tell me. Okay, let us see. Let us see. Okay, now you see variable b might not have been. Are you getting the insight here, or should I explain it to you? Let me explain this for you. So we are talking about the constant expression. Okay. Now let us understand this with the previous example. Okay, pay attention here. See guys, what is happening here is, in the previous case, okay, it is very much clear that, okay, you have values, okay, b equal to 20 in the if area, and nothing is there in the else area. But still, you are ensuring that, okay, this if statement is returning true here. During the compilation time, this if statement is returning true here. Okay. Obviously, compiler will recognize, okay, if this if block is returning true, it has found an equivalent value. B has been initialized here. Okay, there should be a value here, because since it is returning true, there should be a value here. Right? If during at the time of constant expression, if this is returning false, definitely there should be value in the else here. Something like b equal to 300. It is applicable only for the constant expression. If it is returning true, there must be a value in the if. If it is returning false, there must be a value in the else. Based upon that, you will recognize whether that will get executed, that will be compiled successfully, or that will not be compiled successfully. But in this case, you are saying 10 double equal to 10. Okay, this is also a constant expression. This is also a constant expression, right? So when it is a constant expression, definitely this is going to return what? True. True means the compiler will check whether there is any kind of initialization for the b here. Nothing is there. That's why it is saying b is not initialized. Okay, then why the error will not come? See, now if you go back and see, if I try to give not equal to, yes, this is also a constant expression, isn't it? The compiler will not give any error. Why it will not give you an error? Since this is going to return what? False. This will be returning false in the false. After the evaluation, this is going to be false. This will be treated as false, right? False means else block. Inside the else block, you placed the value of what? You have initialized the value of b, which is 300. Right? So it is not required to have it initialized in the if area, because false is satisfying this. Finding it is getting mapped here directly. False means it will be getting mapped here. If it is true means it has to get mapped in the if area, but nothing is there in the if area. That's why you will getting error. This is applicable only for the constant expression. Okay, quick recap. Don't get any confusion. Okay, first thing we have discussed that if it is a variable expression, definitely the initialization has to happen in both the areas, if and else area. First thing, right? If you miss any initialization in any one of the areas for the variable expression, definitely you will get error. Definitely you will get what? You will get error, right? And the third thing is, if it is a constant expression, okay, you can keep it in the if area, or else you can keep it in the else area, but make sure that, okay, the value that is getting returned by the if block, okay, the boolean expression that is getting returned by the if block will be mapped to the respective area. If it is true, it will try to find is there any value in the if area. If it is there, no issues. If it is not there, there will be compile time error. That's why there is a kind of what? Either or situation here. But that either or situation has to match what? Has to match the equivalent conditions. If it is true, definitely there has to be value in the if condition. If it is false, definitely there has to be value in the false. Making sense? Okay. So this is not much important. Okay, sometimes in the interview room they keep digging you questions like this, so you need to be very familiar with the concept of DIA. So that is what I'm trying to do. Okay, in future, if you're trying to build any applications, if you're working on if conditions, okay, so this concept will help you a lot. Just a kind of 20 minutes practice is enough to remember this for a long time. Okay, now the next topic is, can I move to the next topic? Are we clear, everyone? Or do you want to see any more examples?
Yes, we can.
We can, right? Okay, next topic is, okay, focus here. Now we will understand about what are the what is left here. We know what is if else statement. Now we will understand if else if ladder statement. Okay, this is also very important. There are some situations where we will be using in the if else if ladder statement. Okay, focus here, guys. If else if ladder statement. Okay, when you want to check a sequence of conditions, sequence of conditions then you would go for if else if ladder statement. Okay, the syntax is going to be very easy. Okay, if you know if else, then you already know this if else if ladder statement. Okay, what they are saying is, for example, okay, first let me give you the syntax. Okay, then we will talk about the methods. Syntax. Okay, so first condition will always be an if condition. Okay, so you will place a boolean condition, boolean check-in here, boolean expression here, boolean expression. Okay, followed by you can keep a lot of else statement, else if statements, lot of else if statements to ensure that you are checking the different boolean conditions. You are checking the multiple boolean conditions to get the corresponding actions, to do the corresponding actions. What do you really mean when I say else if? Again, you can keep an boolean expression here. Okay, and inside this you can have a block and you can have a corresponding condition here. Condition. There is no limitation. Condition. Okay, you can have condition. Whatever the condition that you want, you can keep it here. Likewise, you can keep doing it consecutively. We are just like building a kind of ladder. We're just like building a ladder here. That's what is called as what? Else if ladder statement. Okay, again there you can use this if else once again, and you can keep a condition. Again you can use this else if once again, you can keep a condition. At last you are going to terminate this by using what? Simple else block. That is going to be a condition. Let us see how it is going to work. Okay, now focus here. Let me show the small example. Okay, let me remove all this. It's not required. Okay, if condition. Okay, let me take the same code. Why I should write it over and over again. Let me take this. Okay. You have if else if. Okay, you have again else if. Okay, you have if block followed by else, one else if block, another else if block, and at last you have else block. If I keep a boolean expression like true here, okay, if I keep false here, okay, if I keep false here, okay, now let me take some statement. System dot out dot println. Okay, let me keep 1 here. Let me keep 2 here. Let me keep 3 here. Let me keep 4 here. Let me keep 0 here. Let me keep 5 here. And now tell me, if I execute this, what would be, what are your thoughts? If I execute this, what value will I get in the console?
0, 1, 5.
0, 1, 5. Okay, let us see if Balaji is correct or not. Okay, 0, 1, 5 is the correct answer. Let us do the tracing part. This tracing part is very, very easy. Okay, nursery level, anyone can understand this. Focus here. Okay. As we all know that main thread will be created, main thread will get access to the main method. Okay, the first instruction is 0 is the first instruction. So 0 will be displayed on the console. Okay, very much clear. Okay, and the second instruction is what? Okay, it has identified a if block. Okay, this is true. True means the main thread get access to this if block, the condition will get executed. 1 will get executed. Right? 1. What happens? Now focus it. As soon as it finds the true in the ladder. Okay, this is the ladder. Okay, so this is what the ladder is. If else if ladder. This is the ladder. In the ladder, as soon as it finds what? As soon as it finds the matching condition. Okay, matching condition in the sense, as soon as it finds if the expression is found to be true. Okay, now the control is very clever here. Okay, the main thread will not check any remaining conditions. it will skip everything. It will skip everything. It has executed this block, then it will directly come outside of this if else ladder block. Okay, this is where the if else ladder block is completing. This is where the if else ladder block is completing, right? So once it finds true, from there, okay, it will execute only that particular block, then the remaining block will never be executed. Okay, it will jump from here to here, that's it. It will come out of the if else if ladder block as soon as it finds the true condition. Okay, that's why the output is what, 0 and 1. Okay, so since it is true, this has to get executed. It will not look into this else if, it will not look at all, no matter if it's false or if it is true, it will never look into this. It will jump directly from here to here. It's coming out of the ladder, if else if ladder. So the statement that is outside the if else if ladder is what, something like 5 has to get printed on the console. 0 and 5. Having said this, if I say, okay, that we are good now, let me say if I say false, okay, let me say if I say true here, okay, let me also take true here. Okay, now think and tell me what would be the answer. Everyone?
0, 5.
0.
5.
What about others? You're not getting this or what? Okay, let me give this. 0, 2, 5. Why 2 is missing here? See, you have missed 2 here. Focus here. Pay attention. Pay attention. Okay, these are very easy. Okay. Focus here. Same explanation. Main thread will start and it will start executing from the main method. First instruction is very clear. Okay, let me separate the if else if ladder. Okay. All the statements are what, they are under if else if ladder. Okay. So first statement is outside the if else if ladder. So this is going to get executed 0. There are no doubts. Okay. Now it has to find, it will be checking the if condition. This is false. If it is false, definitely this if block will be skipped. Yes or no? This if block will be skipped. Okay. Next condition is it will check for else if. It has found true in the else if. Okay, this else if block has to get executed. It will jump inside this condition, inside this block, and the 2 has to get displayed on the console. Okay. The moment it finds one condition as true, okay, it will not take care about the remaining conditions or remaining else if blocks. Directly, okay, it will jump out of this ladder. It will come out of this ladder. It will come out of this loop because it has found one true condition. That's it. You can say that, sir, this is also true. Why it is not? No. As soon as it finds the true condition for the first time, the first true condition, when that is satisfied, only that instruction will get executed. Even though if there is a true condition in the remaining else if statement, that will not be executed because the true condition has to get identified only once. If that is identified, okay, it will come out of this ladder block. Remaining is what, 5. 5 will be executed. Understood? Yes, no? Can I get yes or no from everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now answer me. Okay, if you are saying yes, now you have to answer this. Now answer me, what would be the output in the console?
0, 3, 5.
0,
3, 5.
3, 5. Everyone agree with them? Are you getting this, Prasanna?
Yes.
Sudhir, everyone?
Yes.
Dinesh, Revati, who else is there? Puri,
Yes, sir.
yeah. See, no? 0, 3, 5. Okay, now it is very clear. Okay, now focus here. Zero, 3, 5. Now see, now I wantedly placing false. Okay, false. Now think and tell me what would be the value in the output.
0, 5. 0, 4, 5.
Good. Everyone agree with Balaji? 0, 4, 5. I will tell you why 0, 4, 5. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, focus here. 0, 4, 5. Why 0, 4, 5? Okay, there is nothing to think out of the box, very straightforward. Okay, and where is our ladder? Okay, so this is the ladder, if else if ladder. Okay, first instruction, outside the if else if ladder, this has to get executed. 0 will be displayed on the console. Second instruction, it will check if block. If is false, it has to check for next else if, that is also false. To check for next else if, that is also false. Okay, if all the else if blocks or else if conditional checks are false, at last there is only one thing is else. Okay, it is kind of a default case. If everything is false, this will be executed. Kind of default case. The kind of default case will be that those instructions will be placed under what, the else block itself. This is called as the last block. The last block should always be the else block. Okay, and the sequence of execution has to be always from top to bottom. Always from top to bottom. Making sense? Okay, let us see some some good example. Okay, not something like this. Let me take some good example. Sometimes you will be in a situation where you need to do what? Where you need to evaluate the grade of the student marks, integer student marks. Or else let me take it as what? Marks itself. Let's say that marks is equal to 85. Student has secured 85. For us 85. Okay, we need to display the grades. Okay, if when I say if marks is greater than or equal to 90, this is my condition. The marks is greater than or equal to 90, I would display in the console something like grade A. Okay, grade A. Likewise, I am taking else if the marks are greater than or equal to 80. Marks are greater than or equal to 80. Okay, and you would display something like this is grade B. Likewise, let me copy this and paste it really quick. Marks are greater than or equal to 70. Okay, grade C. Okay, and the marks are greater than or equal to 60. Okay, and grade D. Okay, if it is not matching all the above conditions, you blindly will display what? Grade. Right. So example is very clear. If I place 95 here, what could be the value in the console? Think and tell me.
Grade A.
Grade A, right? Grade A. Because first statement is matching. Okay. So this 95, this marks, okay, the marks is the variable and you have a value 95. This 95 will be replaced here. I mean, this marks will be removed and 95 will be checked upon this condition. 95 is greater than or equal to 90. This is going to return true. Okay, that's why on the output, grade A is going to display in the console. But do you think the remaining statements are necessary? Once this is displayed, okay, it is not required to, check all these conditions. Everything will be skipped. Everything will be skipped. Just else we may get let me run this. Grade A. And when I say if marks are greater than 50, what would be the answer?
Grade E.
Grade E will be the
Grade
answer.
E.
Grade E will be the answer because you are taking the. I'm sorry. Where did I make change? I need to make change here. When I say marks is greater than marks equal to 50, okay. Firstly, let me trace this guys because some people will get confused here. Do one tracing here. Okay, now focus here, guys. Everyone, focus here. Pay attention. Just think about the. You may know the answer, but think about the control flow. Okay, the main thread gets executed. Main thread gets access to the main method. The value 50 is getting assigned to what? Getting assigned to marks. Marks is a variable here. Okay, and you what? You have 50 here. 50. This 50 will be checked upon this if, okay. 50 is greater than or equal to 90. No, this is false. Okay, this will be skipped. Next block, else if 50 is greater than or equal to 80. No, it is not. This will be skipped. 50 is greater than or equal to 70. No, it is not. It will be skipped. 50 is greater than or equal to 60. No, it is not. It will be skipped. But at last you have what? You have nothing. You have no conditions to check further. Okay. At last you have the default condition, which is what else condition. Okay, whatever the value is, no issues. Even there is no condition to check this. But still, okay, default condition will get executed because no other matching conditions at last. So this is the output that should be displayed in the console. Because we are very clear that if no conditions are matching, definitely the grade has to be what? The last grade, which is grade E. This grade E. Now let me give you one more thing. Okay. Now sometimes the question will be like this. Instead of grades, okay, instead of marks, let me take something like. Let me remove this. Okay, I'm placing true here. Placing true here. Okay, I'm placing false here. So let me remove all this not required. Okay, so I'm going to introduce something like the return keyword. Okay, the return keyword. This is one of the what we call it as this one of the branching statements. For now, I will tell you what is this return keyword. To understand this, let me remove this. I'm keep on taking the sequence of if conditions. Okay, so this is something like, okay, let me give the numbers here. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and also there are something like outside I want to keep a statement like 6 or 5. Now tell me, if I execute this, what would be the answer? Anyone with dice can say what would be the answer?
All will print, sir.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be printed. Okay, now think and say, guys. Okay, I am placing something like the return keyword. I'm placing something like return keyword. Okay, now can you just guess what would be the answer? Just give a guess. Any idea or no idea?
1, 2, 3.
What?
1, 2, 3.
1, 2,
3,
3.
5.
What about others? Okay, let me
3,
explain.
5.
Okay, let me. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Why we are getting only 1, 2, 3? We have the remaining two. There are, there is another if condition here. True is also there. Why this is not getting executed and why this is not getting executed? We will understand that. Focus here. The power of return keyword. Okay, we are discussing about the power of return keyword. I'm just introducing this. In the future, we are going to discuss a lot of things about this return keyword. For now, you should understand actual purpose of return keyword. Okay, so you will get some basic idea about this return keyword. So what happens? The main thread will get main thread creates JVM will create the main thread. Main thread will get access to the main method. The first is what? If block, direct constant expression true is that. Okay, this gets executed. This has to get executed. Okay, and again it will identify another if block. That is also true. Okay, this has to get executed. Right? Again there is another if block. Okay, again it is true. So this has to get executed. And again it has identified something like a kind of statement, a kind of branching statement, which is called as what? Which is called as return. The moment it identifies this, it is just like, okay, return means it is asking this thread to return to its location. Where it has come, go back to the same location. Return. Or else in the technical I can say that it is going to come out of the current method. It is going to come out of the current method. This main thread will get terminated from the current method. What is the current method? The main method. Main method is a current method. No matter how many instructions are left to be executed after the return, once it finds a return, it will blindly follow that. Okay, it will just jump out of this current method. The control will get terminated from the current method. From here it is getting jumping out. That's why the remaining statements, even though no matter there is if condition that is having true statement, that will not get executed. This is the power of return keyword. This is the power of return keyword, or I can say statement also I can say. This is one of the branching statement, return return. Return means you're just returning it, right? You are taking the main method to perform the execution. So the moment you identifies the return keyword, okay, it gets terminated. Okay. Having said this, now you tell me, okay, what happens if I do do return? Now tell me what would be the answer. If you have understood this, you should answer this.
1.
1 is the answer, isn't it? Because the first block itself is returning, right? So output is going to be 1. The remaining statement will not be executed because the control will be terminated from here. It will be coming out of the current method. Okay, what are the use cases of this return statement? We will understand the use cases in the object-oriented program. For now, just I am introducing this because this if block is capable to handle this return statement also. You can keep the return statement in the if block. That is what my intention is. Right? So now you tell me what would be the answer. Anyone?
Except when all numbers will print,
2,
sir.
3, 4, 5.
Good. Why the 1 will not get printed? We got to know because so this is, I think I did not save this. Right? 2, 3, 4, 5. Because the condition is false here. Okay, the control will not have a chance to meet this return statement. Okay, this return statement will not be introduced to the main thread. There is no chance for the main thread to meet this because you have kept in a block. Okay, that block is getting evaluated to be what false. False means control will be not allowed inside. That's why you are getting what the remaining statements are executed 2, 3, and 4 and 5. Right. So now you tell me what would be the answer.
2, 3, 4.
2, 3,
3, 4.
Good. 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now you tell me what would be the answer. Come on, quick. These are nursery things. Tell me.
2, 3, 5.
2, 3, and 5.
5.
2, 3.
Correct. Good. 2, 3, 5. Right. And what else we have? What else we can see on this? Okay. Now, what is the next thing that we need to discuss? Nested if. Nested if is very simple. No much explanation is not required. I will give you a few examples. Only 2 examples we will see. Okay, then we can jump into the switch statement. Okay, very simple nested if. Okay, you are nesting a nesting if else statement inside another if statement or inside another else statement. What do you really mean? For example, if you have a if statement, if you have a condition, if you have a if condition, okay, inside this you can also nest another if condition here. This is nested if. If you want, you can also keep else also. Okay. This inside if else is part of what? Is part of outside if statement. It's part of outside. The moment if I do true here, okay, system dot out dot println. Okay, let me take 1 here. Let me take 2 here. Let me take 3 here. Let me take 4 here. Let me take 5 here. Okay. Let me take false here. Okay. Let me take 2 here. Let me take false here. Okay, now answer me. Anyone?
3, sir.
What is it?
1, 3. 1, 3.
1, 3.
No, sir.
Then can tell me nested if. Everyone answer, guys. Only Balaji is answering.
1-3, sir. 1-3, sir.
1-3 only, yeah?
Yes, sir.
135.
We will see, yeah? 1-3 we are getting. We will trace this, okay? Very simple, nursery level. Nested if is what? You can keep an if else statement inside another if statement or inside another else statement. You can nest it. You can nest it, one inside the another. So where the space here? Okay, let me take the new space. File. Save. Now focus here. Okay, so we have the true. Okay, this if condition is bound to be true. Okay, when this is true, the control will go inside this if block. Control will go inside the if block. Okay, the first statement is what? The first statement is 1. 1 will be displayed in the console, right? And again, okay, there is again the nested if inside it. Nested if is there. So this is found to be false. Okay, this block will be skipped by the main thread. If this block is getting skipped, it has to definitely execute the else block, right? What is the value inside the else block? 3 is the value, right? So 1-3 is getting executed, and since the outer if block has got executed, okay, the else block, this else block will be skipped. Else block will be skipped, no matter how many ifs or else you are nesting here, right? So by having said this, now you answer this. Now what will be the answer? Think and tell me.
5, sir.
What?
5.
5, huh?
Yes, sir.
Five. Good. Why 5? So this will not get executed because you have false here. This complete if block will be skipped. If complete if block is skipping, okay, then the else block has to get executed. Again, inside the else block, you have one if condition and you also have an else condition. But again, this if condition is what? If condition is what? False. Right? Only the condition that needs to get executed, this is going to be what? 5. Right? Making sense? So let me say, okay, true. Last question. Now answer this.
1-2, sir.
1-2 is the answer. Everyone getting? Can I get yes from everyone? Are you getting why it is 1-2?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? Okay. So this is all about the if else. If else we have discussed about if else if ladder block, and also we discussed about nested if block. Okay, tomorrow we will see the interesting topic which is called as what? Which is called the switch statement. Switch statement. Okay, after this switch statement we will discuss about something like for loops and while loops we will discuss in detail, and we have something like do while loop is also there. Okay, these loops are very useful for to solve the data structures and analysis programming. Only these 3 things are enough to solve the data structures, some problems in the data structures. We also need some string manipulation, okay, but these things are the major things. Okay, you can solve a lot of problems when you know this. Without understanding loops also can start solving the problems. I will give you one problem. I will try to solve that. Okay, and also you have like patterns. Developing a pattern like something you might have been seen, right? A star, okay, star kind of patterns we can develop. Okay, so this will be
Array.
Okay, arrays, arrays,
Yes, sir.
yeah, arrays we will discuss. To understand arrays, we need to understand object-oriented programming concept. Okay, because both are related to them. That will also be discussed. Arrays. Okay, I will try to introduce array also. The basic thing to solve data structures problems. Okay, the basic things I will introduce to solve data structures and analysis problems. We will see a lot of some few more problems like slide window technique, There are so many things how to find sub arrays. If you understand that we know arrays, like how to find the minimum number, how to find the maximum number, how to sort an array by using bubble sort. Okay, there are so many sorting techniques, like there was something like quick sort is there. So many things we will be seeing. Okay, don't miss any class from tomorrow. The real Java is starting from tomorrow. Okay? So if you have any doubts, you can ask.